What's going on? Oh, let me
What up?
pause the music real quick.
What
What's
up? What
going
up?
on?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Mr. Love King, Raheem? How's your day going?
Hey, bless, man. Bless. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, you're saying you're from out here in Jersey, right? You're born out here, so
Yeah,
we gotta have you on the Garden State Hip
yeah,
Hop Hour.
yeah. I didn't know that's where you were based at, but yeah, definitely. I was born in Orange, Jersey, and grew up in periods of my life in the Colonnades and Newark, and also Baxton Terrace projects. Before it was torn down, I spent a lot of time there as a youth during the summers and stuff.
Yeah, so that's dope. That's why I like having you on this platform. I love having artists that were in Jersey at one point, lived here,
Yeah,
born here. So it's
yeah,
always. So you just dropped Marvin Used To Say.
yeah. Indeed, indeed,
You actually dropped it on the anniversary of the March of Washington.
indeed. I did.
So why did you feel the extreme need right now? It's like, use your voice for a song like this. Even when you watch the visualizer, you have a lot of, the black movement in there, the
Yeah,
leaders, things
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with all this going on in the world, from the pandemic to you know, I feel like we're in a new millennial civil rights movement, currently, you know what I mean? And once again, the goal is freedom, justice, and equality, not only for people of black and brown color, but all walks of life. You know what I mean? People are tired. The souls, it's enough is enough, and we're at that monumental point where the impact of change is such a high magnitude that so many historic things are taking place and will continue to take place. And although I'm talking about um, the evils or the things that are maybe not um, so positive that still take place not only in this country but on the planet. It's also a celebration. It's a record that pays homage to Marvin Gaye. You know, the iconic song, What's Going On. The album just was just announced, number one album. Now,
Yeah, he surpassed the Beatles, right?
it surpassed the Beatles. So, I mean, even with the March, man, that wasn't planned. You know what I mean?
Oh, the release day?
Like the release date.
Oh,
I
wow.
was I was given a release date, and then it was like the March was like announced. You know what I mean? That it was the date. So it's like even like it's kind of like that organic thing happens. You know what I mean? Just it's so important to trust your gut. When it comes to your artistry and fight for the integrity of what your vision is in your head, because it's all really manifesting right now. It's kind of like, all right, Marvin. It's like Marvin's calling the plays right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in my head, because as I'm looking at stuff, I was like, oh, this was a really dope rollout. The way with the visualizer, like I said, it happened to fall on the anniversary. But for you to say, like, it just happened to fall on that day, it wasn't necessarily planned. It's like you said, it was just meant to happen.
Yeah, it's manifesting definitely, man. It's very interesting. It's like every day a different call and something, another plot twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like even the lyrics, one of the lyrics is like, "What's the use of still saying prayers if deaf ears they fall on?" You can kind of tell like just that almost like not defeat, but like just that like just over it, just like what's going on, who can we call, with
Yeah,
everything going on.
yeah. It speaks to just the faith and the Most High, regardless of whatever your religion is, like your background. If you feel like this country is in disarray, the importance of going out to vote, based on the leadership or the current leadership that we have, it's all relative and spoken about on this record, as well as acknowledging who I feel are our modern day, frontline civil rights activists. You know what I mean? That are going out currently in Kentucky, you know, still fighting a good fight for Breonna Taylor, and in the spirit of her name and her family as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, that's why I kind of feel like this coronavirus and stuff, obviously it's miserable, it sucks, like it changed the world, but I feel like it did allow more of a focus on, like you said, like a social movement and the civil rights, because now like a lot of stuff was taken away from us. So it's like we could pay attention, we could show up to protest more. We don't gotta be like, oh, I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Coronavirus showed us that DJs still have the juice, right? It showed us that DJs have the juice. You know, you know, black culture, black music and the culture is the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? It's of the culture. Has been. And DJ saved that. Music saved our lives during the coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you see hip hop culture, not just music across the board. You know, when you see like the footage of like in Brooklyn, New York, and then playing, and everybody's like reciting Biggie, or you see like New York, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Pop,
Everybody's
they're
like
doing Pop
reciting
Smoke
like,
in the protest. Yeah.
yeah, like it's just like it was just a dope time, man. You know, and all that we go through. And it's one of the things I cover on the album is just like, you know, for us, you know, this is just, I'm speaking as a person, as a black man, you know what I mean? It's for all the adversity that we encounter, you know what I mean? As a race of people, we still have to, we celebrate it. We celebrate not the adversity, but we celebrate ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And still remain to be triumphant and pushing the narrative of not only you know, black love, but love is period. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's the, you know, I feel like what's it, 528. It's the, you know, it's the greatest frequency. You know what I'm saying? You can operate in. You know what I mean? So, you know, onward, upward. You know, and shout out to all our allies as well. You know.
Nah, 100%. And so you got your eighth studio album. It was supposed to come out in a couple of weeks, right? It's called What a Time to Be in Love. Is it
Yeah.
still
No.
coming out on the
Yeah.
ninth?
No. It's going to actually be pushed back. I really wanted to do like a proper rollout. You know, I can't put out an album without sitting down, you know, with Garden State hip hop hour. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wanted to just like, you know, I'm old school in that sense, making sure we touch the people. Everybody, you know, gets the opportunity to absorb the single a little more. Um, you know, I don't always agree with the methods that the labels and distributors want to just, you know, they just throw it out now. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk to the people and, you know, create the anticipation for it. Use this month to shoot content, you know, as well, in preparation, you know, for November and beyond. So yeah, the album will be out November 20th. The pre-order for the album will be available October 30th. And, you know, of course, Marvin Used To Say is on all digital platforms, all the DSPs, and get your stream on, run the numbers up.
And like, so you've been like, this is gonna be your eighth album. You're talking 15 years. Does it still feel the same like when the music drops that you had when you know you first started, you know, putting music out and doing these rollouts and the
Yeah,
whole?
absolutely, man. That feeling never gets old of like when you complete the mastering process, you know, it's the mixing process, the mastering process. Um, you know, hopefully if there's no samples, you know, if it's samples, then it's that process of getting cleared. And when it's like green lighted, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it'll be out here, it's done. You know, I'm typically on to the next thing. Like, you know, I'm planning on dropping, they'll be within the 12-month span or less. There's two more projects that's coming. One with a well-known underground producer out of Detroit. Can't say who just yet. But we got a body of work that I anticipate will be out within the next 12 months. After this album drops in November, and me personally, I would like to probably put out another album, like another, you know, album number 9, maybe like May, you know, in time for my
Yeah.
birthday, you
Oh,
know.
that'd be dope for your birthday. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I read a quote from an article, The Black Enterprise. I think it was last year. You said like, I'm prepared to drop an album every 9 months for the next 15 years.
yeah, you know, and it's a lot of, and that's me being humble about it, because it's a lot of music. Yeah, it's a lot of music. It's a lot of, and it's not just quantity, it's quality. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's just like, you know, I focus on, because I've been focused on that as of late, you know, over the last few years, just really just tapping in and making quality music and just kind of archiving it and not really worrying about, you know, when it comes out, but more importantly, like when it does hit, it has an impact. And I record in real time too, you know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know, this particular album, the core of it was recorded during COVID, and then, you know, I was able to go in the vault and grab a few records and, you know, play jigsaw puzzle with it. You
Yeah.
know, big shout out to my man KP, the colleagues. I see them tapping in. Who, you know, they produced the entire project. Shout out to all the co-producers on the project as well.
You stole the words out of my mouth. When I saw him in there, I was gonna shout him out and be like, "Oh, this project, you know, obviously
Yeah,
produced by them." So is the music on there gonna be more like this socially conscious music and similar to what Marvin used to say?
it's you know, not to spoil it, but it's it's well put together. Like there are moments throughout it where you're constantly reminded the times we in. You know what I mean? But it's also you know, this album is also celebration of Black love and just saying like, hey man, like, you know, procreate, make love. You know what I'm saying? I'm a modern day hippie, man. You know, like, so, you know, I'm always going to give you, for me, it's the perfect balance for the palette of like socially conscious music, but also, you know, music for the bedroom. You know, we call it movement music, me and my camp, you know what I mean? You know, because whether you're in the bedroom and you want to move, or whether you move,
Movement.
or whether you're moving those feet to the poles,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's movement music, you know?
That's dope because, like you're saying, you're explaining movement like that. But when I was thinking movement, especially with a song, I think of like, you know, like a movement of social, like a social movement. So it's
Yeah.
just dope. Your different
And it's
take on
both.
that,
Yeah,
and it
it's
makes
both.
sense.
Yeah, it's both. You know, and that's been challenging for me at times. I've always been told, you know, told early in my career, throughout my career, you can't do both. Or, hey man, because this is going on right now, you should just focus on this one lane. And you know, but I keep my ear to the street, and I know what the people want. You know, and I know that that's the fight that also Marvin had to fight. That's the fight that, you know, Bob Marley at some point where he decided he was going to go completely conscious, you know what I mean, not do top 40, you know what I'm saying? So all his records resonated and spoke to, you know, a level of consciousness, you know what I mean, who's also a heavy influence. So again, you know, to influence the culture and be a culture shifter, you have to be a risk taker, and I've always been that in my music.
Yeah, and like, and you still remain consistent, and you're still able to find the inspiration, like you said, due to the times and everything that goes on. Because
Indeed.
so, like, your process, do you just like sit in the studio and record songs and just toss them in the vault, like to have that much music that you're talking about for the next 15 years? You could drop an album every 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's the process. It's a couple of different things. I mean, just now, I mean, recently, after all these years, I just got into like the home studio situation. The engineer just pulled up. I'm excited too. Yeah, so he just literally just walked in. So I'm excited. You know what I mean? Hey, look, all you gotta do is hit that power. There's a main power cord on there to cut everything up, pull everything up. But like that's, you know, that's gonna make it even crazier for me, because then I got the option of just kind of like, boom, I could do it at the office, or I can do it. You know, I have a spot that I've been used for over 20 years, but typically, I mean, when I'm, you know, fresh energy, had a good night's sleep, you know, in there, I might knock out 2, 3 records a day. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And then, you know, some features in between. Um, you know, so I try to cheat it. I try to treat it the same way that, you know, like Jordan or LeBron, or, you know, would treat it, you know, in terms of like the reps and going in there and working out.
Yeah, always.
And like, you know, for me, this is an instrument. This is an instrument. This is an instrument. So I have to constantly work it out, and, you know, and go in. Sometimes I go in and I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, it's, you know, and I'm thankful for what comes out, you know.
Hmm.
I'm now comfortable like starting an idea and walking away from it and coming back. I think I've become more of a perfectionist over the last probably 2 or 3 albums, in terms of going in and or changing a line, or, you know what I mean. Or I already said that bar on a previous record that's already, it may not come out for a minute. Let me, you know, because I don't physically sit down and write the lyric. You know, everything kind of, I go in the booth and it just, you know, it comes out. A couple of hours later, I got a tune. You know, it's like, yo, pull up the next beat if I feel like I'm in my zone. And
Yeah.
yeah, but definitely
I,
thankful for it all, you know.
yeah, no, I think it's super dope that you still have that love and that passion that you sit there and knock out a few songs, even if it isn't necessarily for something at the moment.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And
yeah,
Raheem, I know you got a few other interviews. I know you got one at 5:30, so I do want to just, you know, thank you for your time.
yeah,
Once again, everybody, they can find your single. You got the visualizer. You got a lyric video. Marvin Used To Say. November
yeah.
20th, you got, you know, the new album coming out. What a Time to Be in Love. I know I'm stealing stuff that you're supposed to be saying, but I'm excited. So
Well,
you want
look,
to do?
man, yeah, yeah, definitely. You know, run the streams up on the music. You know, again, you know, this is about changing the culture, preserving the culture. So, again, the album be out November 20th, pre-order October 30th. Marvin Used To Say, available on all digital platforms. Of course, you know where to find me, right here on Instagram. Shout out to Love Queen Nation. I will definitely be bringing the Love Queen Quarantine sessions back very soon. Thank you for your patience, all my followers out there. People have been DMing me, and I've been getting the messages. I've been feeling
Me
the love.
too. They're like asking where he's been at.
Yeah. So I just been laying low, getting ready for what's going to happen with the album, and just getting and just like vibrating higher and like, because I feel myself like transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Like to just becoming more enlightened. You know what I'm saying? So when in that process, you gotta be the clay and let that happen. You know what I'm saying? When it happens, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, again, thank you for your platform. We gotta come back. I know typically you have a lot of hip hop artists on there. So for anybody that wants to hear me in my bag with the hip hop artists, I got plenty of features out there. Ghostface Killer, Talib Kweli.
Talk it.
I mean, you can go down to my man Sky Zoo. We just been back in recently, by the way. Bun B, you know what I'm saying? Joint coming out real soon. With Trey the Truth. Got a lot of records, man. Currency, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Like, so the best thing to do, just go to your digital platform, right? If you're in the mood to hit me with some, or over the hip hop beat, and just put featuring Raheem Devaughn, and all that stuff will pop up.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my boy. I'm
Yeah,
really looking forward to the album. I'm
yeah,
excited when it comes out. We got to do this again. Good luck on the rest of your media run throughout the day and the upcoming weeks.
yeah.
And we're definitely going to be in soon. I appreciate you for your time.
Love, man. Appreciate you. Yep.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you
All right.
next time.
All right. Peace.